for welcoming all to this edition of the Government of Salone, Ministry of Information and Civic Education, weekly press and civic engagement, and we can on a live from the premises of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Now, Freeton. As always, I want to tell you all thank you when join we. I want to tell special thank you to all the family and our hosts we can join and support. Tell particular thank you as well to we sponsors and partners them and UNA members of the 40 states and civil society we there, particularly the one there as well with the carry we live on all the platforms, AYVS, LBC, I think we get Amaze, CC Liberty TV there, we get IB Blog, and plenty of UNA as well. This is very important. I think this engagements with the people of Salone, that's something we want to continue for do, and we not going to do them without Tuna. So I really want to appreciate Tuna as well. May 12, now a big day in Salone. His Excellency the President celebrates his 60th. We with man they call in golden jubilee of existence. The President, the first gentleman of this country, don't hit 60 years. And I want to take this opportunity at this platform for wish him one more time happy birthday and a wonderful, prosperous celebration and the rest of the year. President being an example to young people when it comes to civic leadership and civic engagement. As a teenager, after school, he enlists in the middle of war for take bullets for fight on behalf of me and you for fight for peace. Every opportunity we don't get, he don't choose peace. When he become head of state as a young man, despite all the pressures, he organized elections and handed with the most precious thing we make all day today. The peace process and democracy. And again, now, as part of this conversation with the Kangeso, President Bill don't make it clear upfront in all the constitutional review conversations we don't get. He don't talk upfront, very clear. And I want to hear nothing but third term. He's committed for finish in time and pass the baton to the next generation. One for tell and thank you for your leadership and in vision. And we hope that we are the younger ones, they also go emulate the very bright and shining example we don't set for you. As usual, I'll go through the news updates and then we'll go to a very distinguished panel we'll get today. Today we'll get some serious master savvy people there. We can talk about two separate issues. One, as I've been we put out in the release, we'll get good news from the Ministry of Youth Affairs. I'm glad if I say we Youth Commissioner, they with Swinaya as well. So in case there's additional questions, they are for support. They are for supporting minister, and the minister we not to change at this platform. They are with we. We also get my sister. In fact, now we come out from the feminist activist world. Then they work very closely together, and I'm glad the way he agree for join with today for provide a unique human rights perspective. Madam Simiti Lavali. And then, of course, the Deputy Justice Minister, Mr. Alpha Sise, who can give you more on them. But let's just go through quickly the news. President Bill currently in Paris, France, for attend the summit on clean cooking in Africa. We've been there 98.1 this morning. And I'll be able to ask some questions. I'll provide some updates on this. President Bill actually they invite him for deliver the keynotes on turning points for clean cooking in Africa during the plenary session. And he did it accompanied by a delegation will include Chairman Kande Kolayomkela, Minister Jiwa Abdullahi, and the Salone Ambassador to Belgium. The Minister for Public Administration and Political Affairs, Amara Kalon, de Cairo, Egypt, and he did it for sign an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, for strengthening the cooperation between the Ministry of Public Administration, Central Agency for Organization and Administration, International Relations Departments in Egypt. This is part of President Bio's Big Five agenda. Una no say na for reform the public service. And so then relationship in the MBU for benefits from technical expertise of a partner country them, and Egypt is one of them country today. While the minister go meet with other big people, them, including the Prime Minister of Egypt, and see what he able for bring come back na salon. The Minister of Tourism, Nabila Tunis, being take part by the soft launch of within the one platform winning BSK TV network, Nagadisim Blue. We be attract boku of Una and the fourth estates. Apparently, BSK network na a pan-African multifunctioning platform where they offer more than multiple entertainment service from world-class movies, TV shows, documentaries and podcasts, live radio to live streaming. The network they on channel 200. When Chief Minister Dr. David Moini Nasenge been go America recently, he been get an opportunity for engage with the International Development Finance Corporation for the United States government, and then be announced $412 million as a support for address Salone in energy needs. So the DFC approved another new loan of up to $292 million for support the Freetown-based Western Area Power Generation Project. We want to tell with the hope say we will continue to reap the benefits of their investment here as His Excellency the President, we don't take over the Ministry of Energy. They continue to do the work we need to do for solve this problem once and for all. This week, President Bio formally opened the ECOWAS Court of Justice 4-day conference in Salon on the theme enhancing the role, relevance, and effectiveness of the ECOWAS Court of Justice through the strengthening of synergies between the court and national stakeholders. This conference, the goal now for Lede go continue to improve the impact of the regional court system, and it attract over 250 participants, including the president of the ECOWAS Court of Justice, when Justice Edward Asante. This is a part of the way we don't see more and more international conferences in the Council now. Part of the benefit they see almost every week here they report so Salon host another major international conference. So just want to say that airports they forget they doing advantage. They continue for doing work. They attract more people for come and we continue to expand the space as an opportunity. The Honorable Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo being launched the Salon Metal Group West Africa Logistics Center by Leon Rock Metal Group na Pepel Port Local District. This logistics hub na an integrated what they call sea, river, and railway transportation with multiple functions them, and it go bring opportunities for supports the company in within the imports from different countries them, and it will continue for generate revenue for the country. The expectation now that this expansion will also boost revenue and job opportunities significantly. We just get one final update. A team of experts from Rwanda last Thursday meets with the Minister of Internal Affairs, Major General retired David Taluva, for address bilateral cooperation between Salone and Rwanda. The team leader, Jean-Baptiste Kamali, been said the purpose of this visit now for let them assess how we will continue to work together, deepen with bilateral ties and security exchange and logistics exchange between Salone and with sister country, Rwanda. People still continue to talk about this WASC situation, and we see plenty fake news. They happen, I think I clarified again last week. We give numbers, we don't do this additional clarification. I just want to make that point stay again, say government, they work with the school authorities that we don't satisfy them conditions for make sure say we pick in and get an alternative for take the exam, and we believe say one option will be for them take in November. So the one the way they say, government no one, how government will pay for student there. All all throughout, the way camper was. I see somebody being say, we don't want for pay for students from this part of the country and this part of the country. What did the judge with progress on education? If one part of the country not gets, now we all not get. So that view day, it comes from a place where not belong now we society. We suppose not forget place for that aspect rights in this country. Yeah. All right. Now look into we conversation for the day. Big Five. Una na journalist there. Una for sabi the Big Five by now by una had to, eh? Number one, na fit salon, eh? Almost sabi number one. The problem number okay, don't go 2, 3 now. Now man in the beginning confused. Eh? What's na number 2? Eh? I feel safe man go just talk no more. For the Big Five. Take today. Uno know. Human capital, not so. And then number 3. Na youth. This fourth estate business here for the surveillance here. Now una day for inform the public. Eh? So number 3, now they can discuss as part of the Big Five. President Bill promised to provide 500,000 jobs for the young people of this country. One person we don't task with the responsibility for mobilize the youth sector and for provide leadership. Now the Honorable Mohamed Oman Bangura, we now I think say don't synonymous to the Ministry of Youth. The most youthful, funky minister we get. And he don't do a good job for organizing sector, but also for partner with all the other ministries and agencies and for lay the foundation for let President BO in vision we don't set for deliver on youth employment be achieved. So Mr. Minister, I know say you get some news we want to announce in the work I do. I want to give you some time, 7 minutes. Follow you, give you some updates from your sector, the Ministry of Youth, and focus particularly on what they do now for continue for deliver President BO in Big Five. You can use that mic there.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, members of the Fourth Estate, and the people of the country. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to inform the general public, say, Minister of Youth signed a performance contract with His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, and I ask each and every one of you in this country for join me, support me, for ensure, say, by the end of the year, the agreement was signed with the President, make I will achieve them for protect my job, and for ensure, say, we move this country before. Part of the 6 main things in the performance contracts are that, 1, I will provide 5,000 jobs. 2, I will ensure, say, I get 1,500 skills for young people. And 3, for ensure, say, I give 2, 1,500, and 3, for ensure, say, I give grants to 1,000 young people. And the way we make 4, now for ensure, say, young people can participate in governance, and young people can participate at the country in governance and other areas. And ensure, say, 5, for ensure, say, 70,000 young people, we advocate for ensure, say, they get empowerment in different areas. And the last one, for do it, for promote 1,000 young people, for change their mindset, the way they behave in the country. So that's not the 6 big things them way President Bill tax me with. And they get enablers them, we really boku for him, sure say, we get down they done. And done with that, like how the minister say, now, what's going to happen at the Ministry of Youth Affairs? From where they discover the Ministry of Youth Affairs will not ever get a document called, where they give a clear picture of the state of young people in the country. The Ministry of Youth and World Bank with other partners then will go to call Status of Youth Report. Now a research, very broad research, where every chiefdom, every district, every village, every facet of society for get that information. They will get for about 200 researchers for ensure say we'll get a solid document for get a Status of Youth Report. As of now, we don't recruit 3 international consultants, and we'll get a consortium of local consultants for ensuring they come together for giving this solid document we're going to pass the test of time. And secondly, we get a project under National Youth Commission, what they call productive social safety net, and youth empowerment project. This one for empower 8,000 young people. 8,000 young people for ensure say they get empowerment, get accounts, then train them, give them money. Then the project way, they not only they give money, train you, ensure say you this on side where you go get what you supposed to get. And the part of another component will get one thing we lack in this country now. How will they consolidate the efforts of youth intervention? Check after the war to date. The money we don't come now the youth sector and the impact, that of commensurate. So what's in the ministry don't do and government they try to do, forget a one-stop shop for every youth intervention, both development partners, private sector, and government, line ministries. So when there's a program, an empowerment program for young people, you go forum.youthAffairs.gov.sl, you get a one-stop shop, progress, and even including the 500,000 jobs we get for capture and day. So that's another project, now a $1.5 million project, where it they on now, we don't do the recruitment, we don't award the contract, the service provider don't sign the contract with NACSA and WIN now. And now as I speak, we remember sometimes back we launched 70 boats, not so? 70 boats. By nature, I'm a businessman. We get done 70 boats, we give them boats to young people. The then government, the APC, we give 70 boats. It be deliberate for like ensure say we save do 70 boats. But when he asks about those 70 boats during the time, then tell you say the boats when they take them from one wharf to another, all the 70 boats crash. Not so with the own government. The 70 boats where we give, out of recovery, we get 50 boats with full equipment set we'll go hand over in the next couple of weeks. That's not very good news for tell you say young people will get for be responsible. And I'm very pleased the loan recovery where we get from the young people in there because we try for them to be very disciplined for ensure they comply in that direction. So the 70 boats will be give now empower 1,400 young people, and this one now it empower 1,000 young people because of 50 horsepower, 40 horsepower machine, the wooden boat with all accessories they set. We don't do the procurement. In the next couple of days, the contractors then go hand over that day, and we do that one day. Okay, youth in commercial transportation. Last year, we buy some kekes where we give to young people. I also pleased to inform the general public and members of the fourth estate say we get 80% loan recovery from the youth in commercial transportation. As a result of that, we buy 400 kekes where we give to young people and young people pay back. Out of the 400, now, in the next couple of days, in fact, maybe today, the permanent secretary will don't send the transfer for the 100 because we put 400 on street, sometimes some call the commode. So they begin with 100 for us for ensure say we get young people and for do the one day because out of the previous one, we get 80% loan recovery. Check the financial institution. There is no financial institution in this country we get 100% loan recovery or even 80%, but the youth sector able to manage that one day. And again, we get hands-on training, empowering young people training. Now Western area. So we get under National Youth Commission, we get waiting we the try for do. We don't build a very standard skills training center now. Malta 1 also. We don't get the equipment, we don't do everything for training young people how to build blocks. Them Silverland blocks here, get all the equipment, standard equipment. That one day the building done, the equipment they would install in the next couple of days, and we go launch that one day. We go in such a 400 young people, and they pay them for 6 months for go do that training. When was it done? Lock them up at the traditional ways of doing things. And again, we also get economic inclusion for entrepreneurship. What we they try for do here now that we they try for train, we try for give grants and support young people in small business in different areas. That one day they own, and hopefully funds available now with the try for ensure say if we empower 1,000 young people, 600 female and 400 male. Then they on the pipeline now, it will be set. When I remember vividly, the bank governor be there in one press conference, they make mention of our Youth Enterprise Fund. If you look at the financial inclusion policy launched early last year, page 21 of the financial inclusion, they tell you say young people, youth and women are the least financing people in the country. And they realize, say, check now all the financial institutions. Until and unless the financial institution then recalibrate their products the way they produce for match up to the current trend, that more young people for access finance, they're not going to move. So we do a lot of advocacy. The then bank governor did not approve this loan. Now it's gonna be a single-digit loan. Waiting access to finance. You get young people in today, like that lady sell, give me that Kanya just now. It gets a very good initiative. If you put them to scale, you allow your young lady for like able to go to us money in a bank. Divide of all that thing, a single digit, and ensure say scale them up. Trust me, that Kanya, if you modernize and package and find, if your brothers they go America, they go able to modify that day. So access to finance, the one thing. I always they make reference to one lady called Fatima Sise, Unimac. I mean, look at the interest rate, 28% or more, or 30-something%. So if you lend that kind of lady for make you get access to finance in a single digit, and then $100,000, $200,000, trust me, it will recruit more job, it will recruit more young people, and the private sector are the way to go. And the youth in commercial transportation also, will they look at an opportunity where we say we go give the private sector for managing one of the differential, say, more development patterns and kind of side. And we also get for training young people in graduate for ensure say we want to make agriculture a bit sexy. That is to say, we want to see who that the free town we get interest in agriculture. We ensure say we send in our standard farms them. We get the funding now, and we send in our standard farms them. You go there for 1 year, assuming that we pay $100 for 1 year. If na fish farming you go, if na aquaculture you go, if na habanero pepper, if na rice production, cassava value chain, you then have somebody in farm when a standard farm for 1 year, we they pay for 1 year. By the time you come out there, you don't get interest in agriculture. And again, we also get digital skills where they start June. This is an $8.6 million project where His Excellency the President they blessed me last year, the last government. We signed this agreement with a partner. Now the project, because the digital skill I get for do to innovation and technology, me and the Minister of Innovation and Technology day on this. We also get what we call youth in agriculture projects, and this one, like I say, we want to see how young people. This is now a $6 million project hosted by Minister of Agriculture, but again for be implemented by FAO and the Ministry of Youth Affairs for ensure we allow young people away into agriculture. We plan for them, give them the first opportunity, give them the opportunity for them able to do some of them things they do. And again, we all know about the National Youth Service. This is one of the institutions where nobody, no members of the fourth estate, and no Sierra Leonean, not ever question the integrity of that institution. Every young person we apply for the past 5 years, they take them. If somebody come out today say they don't take them because it belongs to party X or XYZ, I resign my job. Reason being, we need to get institution the way we believe, and institution the way we also trust. And again, under the National Youth Commission, okay, Fenwalk. Fenwalk now one project where very soon go start, deal with African Development Bank. And again, we also get another project under Ministry of under National Youth Commission. A couple of months ago, you go surprise it's difficult for get if you bulb and box today, it's difficult for get woman we can fix them. Difficult for get messing a woman. Few months ago. We recruit young people, we put them in the military. The military get one powerful training school. And when they train you, the vaccine are through the military, they go through, your sense of thinking, your sense of thought, the way they discipline is different. Then train over 300 women them for different discipline them. And within that month, 6 months, then they pay you, you did it. And when you graduate now, a police will inform you, the commissioner of just on updates this morning, tell we say the military don't take most of them women in there. For the part of them, for instance, you know, so the military get their own way to serve them, get their own platform where they create. And again, we'll get 217 youth in current where they undergo training at the Obasanjo. Obasanjo is one institution where they really do well, and that one they go far. And when I read the commission a couple of days ago, be there on TV, young people all over the country. I need to make some clarification in this, Minister. GIZ and European Union, they give loan to young people. 1,200 young people, they get loan. The loan will lead to grant. The reason why we not the therefore intervene too much, would I get, would I not forget, because the risks of paying back rest on the financial institution where they give that one day. So GIZ, they do that one day. The closing date for the application will end the 13th. And now, yesterday night end. And 1,200 young people, they get grant. So President Bill be asking for 1,000. Just this one don't give me 1,200. The other one where they give don't pass 1,000. So part of the 16 them we don't do a whole lot. Push just 1 minute. Yeah. And we get Mano River Union, Youth Connect with the CAM, October. That one day for ensure say we bring ministers, 1,000 young people within Mano River Union for council can decide what's going to happen, how we go change the narrative and the Mano River Union for what's going to happen now in this. Thank you very much.
If person ask you now, say what's in they happen at the youth sector, if the minister they work, the minister don't provide you categorical, authoritative, undisputed, factual information that it work and it deliver. We don't solve all the problems in the youth sector, but with the leadership of the minister and my brother Wedenaya Ahmed Atata Bansare ASQ, the NACOM chief, then they do the work. The minister don't point out, say, President Bio inside agreements, that we will provide 1,000 grants. So on that young grant score, you don't clear one sense. We don't clear. So that means, the rest of any importantly, the public know the agreements that we will sign. So we know the all way to accounts, we know for all way to accounts based on the targets that we will set with His Excellency in office and una self, like I say, una part of that governance process there. So I want to tell the minister plenty, you want to commend them for the good job we here in the sector they do. And now one can talk about constitutional review. It's a big one. So long ago from where Justice Kawane day that's in the one if you remember it's a for Guna government, then don't start constitutional review. It's a process we don't go on, and now the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice and in Deputy where they are, when I'm your other comrade. By the way, this man back in a comrade of the Radicals Club. You're not dictator on us too, me not pusher. Alpha, you know waiting now. You know Prezo. Aha. Low puts on that way. But now senior comrade. Aha, you know senior comrade. Me na you junior, then Oman na me junior. So now so you say he went in the evening. All right. So Honorable Alpha say plenty controversy sometimes they on. As soon as you mention constitution and constitutional review, you feel like you invite a new energy in the room. I want to let you take your time and first explain to we the journey of the constitutional review process. Usa we come out, usa we dey now. And then tell we usa we dey go. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Chernor Bah, we plenty use for column Siba. And I also want to join the minister for thank the Honorable Minister of Youth Affairs for the great overview where he provide of your activities. It's always really exciting for the investment where they go into young people in this country. So I know say this is something where the president really very passionate about. In almost every discussion we get to talk about how young people for the front and center, if I can put it that way, of all we development agenda. So thank you very much for that. And I also want to thank the Minister of Information and Civic Education and in team for waiting get me now. So the second time, the first time I've been there, talk about the efforts where we they put into reforming the justice sector, that work they go on. And I've been talk about, the efforts where we they put into review of we lost them in this country also. But when we talk about we lost them in this country, the one we stand supreme na the national constitution. And as the minister say, these days when you talk about constitutional reform, people they treat them with suspicion. So we glad for the opportunity where the minister Giwi and for really try to explain this process here so to people them. I know say plenty people where sometimes don't hear false or fake news. Say, oh, President Bio want to tamper with the constitution because it gets ulterior motive. I come for really explain to una say when it comes to reforming the constitution or reviewing the constitution, the president get the best intentions for this country, like how it don't get for every law. And I can say once we take the constitutional review process to conclusion, we can really safely not just say when it comes to reviewing and reforming with laws in this country, nobody don't be as bold as President Bio don't be bold. If we look at the legislative history since it came to power in 2018. So you see the reform of the constitution as part of the process of reforming the country, or as INSEF can say, a one for left this country also and the laws in a better shape than a midterm. So that is why the president want for make we conclude the constitutional review process. But it good as we do this for make we engage the public, for make we engage various stakeholders, for make we provide clarity on very many issues. As the minister say, not so today this process has to start. So first I want to say from the onset that President Bio has not commenced a constitutional review process. Make we get that very clear. President Bio not only say it is start a constitutional review process. It only don't say the constitutional review process where we don't depend now this country also for more than 20 years, it won't take on to completion. That, as we can say, now we match in orders. So make we take a step back and see who say this process has to start. This process actually go as far back as the Lome Peace Agreement in 1999, when we signed as a country, when the government signed a peace agreement with the RAF rebels. Of course, we all can recall, say, for the brief moment we President Bio served as head of state in '96, it started the peace process when, through trusted mediators, start conversation with the former rebel leader, Fode Sanko, and then we been get the discussions with start na Yamoussoukro in Côte d'Ivoire. And then the discussion moved to Abidjan. And then eventually, when President Kabah take power, now continue. We say President Biobi don't start. We lead we to waiting to be the Lome Peace Agreement. And in this Lome Peace Agreement here, so Article 10 of the Lome Peace Agreement provides, say, we for take step for review with Constitution. When at the present Constitution will they use the 1991 Constitution. And that we for make sure, say, we develop a Constitution we go represent the needs and aspirations of the people of Sierra Leone. And the agreement being for urge the government for take the necessary steps for set up a constitutional review committee for review the provisions of the present constitution and who say it necessary for recommend revisions and amendments in accordance with the various constitutional provisions as to how we amend the constitution. So this now what we sign up to in 1999 Alome. And when we sign the peace agreement, we come with the peace agreement in Parliament and legislate them. And this same provision also stay in the legislation. So we get what we call the Lome Peace Agreement Act. We're a law in this country. So now a commitment we make. And then the Lome Peace Agreement being also talk about the need for set up a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We set up the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And this 2024 marked 20 years since the TRC complete in work and hand in report to the late President Bah. And in that report, the TRC make a lot of recommendations. In the Lome Peace Agreement, one of the things we government been signed up to, where the TRC also recommend, have been for set up like a Human Rights Commission. We get Madame Simiti Lavali, we now one of the commissioners then. Also recommend the setting up of the Anti-Corruption Commission. We don't do that. They make recommendation for make we review a lot of we laws them, for make we set up several institutions then. And really, sometimes, we first sit back and say, wait to make now 20 years later, would it try for implement or complete the implementation of some of them key reforms here, so what the TRC recommend? But as we can say, then say better late than never, right? So we put effort into doing that. And so the TRC, one of in key recommendations, have been for make we review the 1991 Constitution, similar to what we don't sign up to. Now the Lome Peace Agreement will become the Lome Peace Agreement Act. And the TRC really recommends make we review the Constitution through wide and thorough consultative and participatory process. We're going to lay the foundation for a democratic society in which every citizen will be equally protected by the law. That now the recommendation the TRC make. And so after that, waiting we been get now that the late President Bah immediately take step for set up a constitutional review committee where we've been called the Peter Tucker Constitutional Review Committee. It was a small committee, do consultations, and submit a report. But by the time where the Peter Tucker Committee, the complete in report, President Bah don't left power, don't hand over to former President Nkrumah in 2007. And so the Peter Tucker Committee indeed submit in report to former President Nkrumah. But then, former President Nkrumah been take another step. Say no. It's necessary for set up another committee or a new committee where go undertake wider consultations for review the Constitution, but also go review the report where the Peter Tucker Committee been done submit. And so, as the minister say, now so we get the Justice Cowan Constitutional Review Committee, set up by former President Nkrumah.
Which year was this?
2007. So, the 80-man committee, 2013.
2013 for the Justice Cowan one.
The Justice Cowan one started 2013.
2013, okay.
Yeah. So the Justice Cowan Committee been get 80 people, broadly representative, civil society, political parties, In fact, one person where we can look for call Mr. Civil Society, when we own big one, Mr. Gillen. Now one person we don't follow them process here so for a very long time. You understand? TRC, he was there. Special court,
Retirement's
he
not
was
in a
there.
civil society.
Retirement's
not in a civil society.
Of course. Okay. We can change it and say a concerned citizen. Uh-huh. So I don't follow them process here soon. And so the Cowan Committee undertake broad consultations, and I will come to that very soon. But the Cowan Committee, Justice Cowan Committee, carried out in work from 2013 to 2017.
Minister, you have 5 more minutes.
Right.
So.
To 2017. And been gets technical and financial support from very many partners: United Nations Development Program, UN Women, United Kingdom, European Union, governments of Kenya and Ghana. They all support the process. And the Cowan Committee actually ensures the process being broadly participatory and inclusive. And on the 24th of January, 2017, the Cowan Committee hand in report over to the president, the former President Nkrumah. And that same year in June, the government of former President Nkrumah may issue a white paper on the CRC report in which it may accept some of the recommendations which the Cowan Committee make, and it may therefore reject some, a lot of them. But will not be moved the process beyond that. And so when President Bio got elected in 2018, he make a commitment, say he want for complete this constitutional review process. But the way President Bio will look at him in 2018, he said, "I could pick him up from who left in 2017. We don't put a lot of resources into constitutional review process. Instead of setting up a new committee, some people go say, oh, a new government can set up a new committee. No, instead of doing that, President Bio say, make we go back to the report with the Justice Cowan Committee submit to former President Nkrumah in 2017. And then make we use that for take this process to completion." And so now, President Bio put his own team together, reviewed the report, and in March 2021, there was a second government white paper. But that white paper now been on the Justice Cowan Constitutional Review Committee report, where Justice Cowan and in committee be done hand to former President Nkrumah. In President Bio's estimation, in the white paper, it really indicates the report where the Cowan Committee present being really reflect the contributions, aspirations, and determination of the people of Sierra Leone for improve and sustain the rule of law, for sustain lasting peace and human development. And then, in the same 2021, during the Universal Periodic Review in Geneva, the government of President Bio make a pledge, say Sierra Leone go conclude the constitutional review process. And so, after all of that, the process moved now to the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We're not from there. But people, they don't ask, how participatory this process been there. Where Justice Cowan lead. We get the numbers, Minister, with your permission. I want to share the numbers to the public. The record indicates the Justice Cowan Committee, Constitutional Review Committee, being undertake about 10,000 public consultations with various stakeholders nationwide. It do about 133 stakeholder engagements with women, youth, political parties, paramount chiefs, local councillors, civil society, media, lawyers, etc. About 198 MDAs, commissions, religious groups, and relevant institutions were consulted in this process. About 80 expert engagements on the key constitutional issues. About 110 position papers now received from civil society, MDAs, political parties, women groups, media practitioners, lawyers, youth, tribal heads, etc. And airtime, over 20,000 hours of airtime over SLBC and other radio stations as part of the sensitization process. We really include live debates, theme songs, jingles, messages, among others. And forms distributed to various people and fulfill about 70,000 forms distributed to various people. And then the website where the Constitutional Review Committee been set up, been get about 40,960 visitors. The Facebook page where the Constitutional Review Committee set up, we get about 12,800 followers at our page. So the commission in report, where we get, the committee in report, now a product of all of them consultations here, so we take place. But I just want for conclude for say, yes, this is not the journey where we don't work, but as part of this process, why should they try to conclude this process? Certain key steps where government don't take, we really reflect the recommendations with the current committee they make. For example, the reform of the media laws. You know, before now, of course, you know, we all know say we will bring laws with criminalize libel. You know, reform that. The abolition of the death penalty, now be another recommendation. The free quality education and right of pregnant girls for obtain education. The amendment to the Anti-Corruption Act. The enactment of the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act. And the now the enactment of the Political Parties Regulatory Commission Act. Then we are all now recommendations within the committee in report where government don't already take steps for do. But now we say we day now discussing it within the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and try to take the technical details. Technical details go include drafting constitutional instruments or go table to Parliament, but we'll make sure say we inform the public, we go bring the public along. So we'll continue to understand with now then reforms here so and how will they take them to conclusion. So I want to pause the end right now, Mr. Minister. Thank you.
Mr. Minister, before you pause, I get a couple of follow-up questions for you. Because I know I will left this conversation with doubt. I want to let people understand. Waiting people for expect the next stage for be. We don't talk about how far we don't come. Una deep and work on drafting technical, and they sound vague to we the non-loyal there. So explain to we quickly, because I want to do quick 2-3 follow-up questions for you. Just now, waiting at the next stage, what people for expect. When do we move from Musa Ude now to say, okay, we don't revise with constitution?
So two things. One, we get in the constitution, we get what we call non-entrenched provisions. Then we get what we call entrenched provisions. Okay. The non-entrenched provisions, then one in a things and way, when government propose amendment, Parliament can vote.
And then pass them.
And then pass and they go debate because Parliament now we representatives.
Yeah.
But when it come, if you touch the entrenched provisions, then you get to go to referendum for make the people cast their votes and say we agree or we disagree. So right now, the SIFTA, the non-entrenched and from entrenched provisions,
okay.
We get a calendar of events.
So I did the technical instrument then for say who's one of the entrenched one then who's one of the non-entrenched one then.
Exactly. And that's all we will make the public know that. We will roll all that to the public, but also as part of the next steps, we get to engage key constituents so that we bring everybody along in this process, political parties, civil society, you know, traditional leaders.
So Minister, will expect referendum at some point?
Yes.
As part of this process?
Yes, I will say so, an authoritative yes. Say one, we will expect the non-entrenched provisions for go to Parliament very soon. We say parliamentarians go vote, we can communicate on our views through elected representatives. But yes, we will make sure we provide sufficient notice to the public, say we will have a referendum on the provisions, when are the entrenched provisions
and then one and before a referendum we will get open, clear public debates, some of which we go host, forget all the sides then for can talk about and inform the people and say, okay, now this option, we go for go vote, now this you get for vote, so that they get for be a clear process as well.
Very correct, Mr. Minister.
And like you don't say, Minister, people then forget plenty of opportunities again for continue for input into the process, even though they don't already make plenty inputs, but throughout this process, through your parliamentarian, you can still get with it, and then if we go again to referendum, people have opportunity. I just want one final clarification, Minister. You know, we'll get you on this issue, so we want to make sure we let people understand. Every technical recommendation based entirely on the Justice Kawan reports.
That is
una know the add, una know the pull. Well, una can pull, but no new. Now the commitment and I want to let people understand.
So it's very clear. Say we only proceed with this on the basis of the Justice Kawan report. Now, make I just, state this. When a committee submits a report to government, when the government, they issue white paper, it can do one out of three things. One, it can reject certain recommendations. So we expect that. Two, it can accept some. But three, it can accept with modification.
Okay.
So all of that, will sign modification take place.
Okay.
We'll make sure say the public is brought along.
All right. Excellent. So we need una get for continue for hearing more and more on this constitutional review process. I want to tell the minister plenty thank you, the Deputy Minister of Justice, for such a detailed, comprehensive update. And I think I will take this opportunity as well for tell the previous president and thank you, President, the late Alhaji Ahmad Tijan Kaba, for his vision and commitment to this process, but also President former Anes Dr. Baikoma for in commitments to this process. Because I set up the Justice Cowan Commission, I set up that 80-point committee that was broad-based, with plenty of people let me contribute. I also that then developed the white paper where itself being reviewed and be committed for takeover. So I think governance, of course, we get for disagree fiercely sometimes, but as part of the governance process, build on the work we don't do, and I continue. And at this now we own commitment as well, especially as it dates back to the peace process. So we tell them thank you for that extensive consultation and the impressive numbers in there, but we continue for do more. Madam Lavalley, now you turn. The question will be asked you now that from a human rights perspective, why this constitutional review important? What's make this important for Lodwam? But because I know say you now, even though you're a commissioner now, but you're also a civil society person, I want to let you also speak to what we need for do as a government for ensure say this constitutional review process maintain inclusivity and the credibility joy across governments. What's your own advice on that?
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for this opportunity for represent the Human Rights Commission at this podium, and then for answer these very critical questions that we don't pose. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I answer the question, whenever I go to any room, other than we know me in agenda somebody, the first thing I do now for watch how many women, how many men, and I don't know, I don't see so many. Then having women at the back also signifies something else. So I hope we have 1/3. I hope we have 1/3. Mr. Minister, they tell me soon I can't late. I hope that's not the case. But whatever it is, it's always good to check that we are meeting the gender quota. It's not just about for saying our political appointees or whatever appointees, but even at every level, also with the work, that we have a gender lens. We also even forget a youth lens, even a disability lens. But for now, a gender lens, I no more really the counts. But as the Honorable Minister said of Youth Affairs Day, we also for to see how many youths are here who are representing their institutions, and how many people with persons with disability are here, So anyway, in answer to your question, I just lay out firstly, as Onadisi, I'm also a lawyer, so we, Honorable Deputy Minister, safely talk, we also do look at human rights. They look at the Constitution as a very important, as you say, at the bedrock of we society. When they talk about human rights, when they talk about rule of law, without a constitution, as a new state, as a country since 1961, as a country, what make we would we be? Now the constitution. And we don't get several over the years, but the latest one we use now this 1991. And at this 1991 constitution, we say, let we review. And why would they review them? Because they say at the time, when it came into being, it was not a participatory process. We'll be just a come up from a one-party state They needed to include multi-party elections. And then a small group of people be actually sit down right and quickly, so then before able to get elections. So because of that history, when we get the war, and people then they say now because also the constitution, they're not really able to implement them. Because 1991, before the war was never really implemented. It was passed in 1991. We go straight into the war, 1992 going onwards. There's instability, 2001, 2002. Now we go to stability. And then we say, let's look back at this law. So as Honorable Deputy Don explained, it's been a long process. But the TRC, Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where now the body also will make even the Human Rights Commission come into being, say, this is an opportunity. Now we don't go through the war. We don't go through all the bad. We don't see waiting at the issues. Let us look at the Constitution with fresh eyes and then come up with something we're really binding. We hold we as a nation. We make say everybody their rights then will be covered, protected, that they will be fulfilled because now the state's in obligation, don't they? So the TRC talk about the Constitution and after the TRC recommendation, they said the government for really consider forget a new constitution. For them, their own recommendations are new. But over the years, we've been looking at really as a revision for say we change aspects, not so everything bad. We get a lot of good things in the existing 1991 constitution, but how we will change, how we will add, how we will subtract. So that's what this process has been. And as I say, it don't take long. From 2007, we've been battling till within now 2024, we still talk about that. But from the human rights point of view, we want to let the process done. Because a lot of work has gone into it. We don't do a lot of work, as it outlined. The last one will be the Justice Cowan committee. The Human Rights Commission was represented in. That time they will get Justice James Inaking and Commissioner James Inaking as she was then, and Commissioner Yasmin Jusu Sharif and others then, where they may go represent. They may come up with ideas. How do we make sure that the Constitution get a human rights-based approach? That the Constitution include everybody, women, the youth, the persons with disability, and make sure, say, that whatever the provisions, then compatible with waiting government they go sign internationally. Because the Human Rights Commission is not just okay for let the president or ministers or we representatives then at the different embassies and they sign on we behalf. But when they sign, the spirit and letter of waiting they sign also be captured inside the Constitution. So for we don't always heartily congratulate the executive for say, once they're ready for move this process forward, we are pleased. Because it's also a recommendation for the Universal Periodic Review, where other countries and they review Sierra Leone. They say, "Una tried on this process. You started. Now we're talking about 20 years. Una tried on. Let una get either a new constitution or a revised constitution, where they look at all the emerging issues. So for we Nadande, we they look forward to, and we want a time scale. As he allude, the reason why also them process they all know they don't, because at the time where it went done, election they carry on. And then everybody, they say, oh, they want to change the constitution for give more time, extra time, or they want to change whatever, you know. So if they find out, say, it's difficult. 2017, the eve of election for 2018, they say, we don't want nothing. Parliament kick her out. Just before then, we had, in 2019, they don't start the process, 2022. By that time, with President Biode in governance, the next year is going to be elections. Can you come up with a new referendum? Can you come up with a referendum for change? No, it will make it difficult. So now is the opportune time. We just don't go 1 year into a 5-year term. So if anything, we really look forward to say that the Ministry of Justice go move this process forward. At least let it not take more than 1 year. Because if not, we start moving towards the end of another term, then we get the same problem. And so much resources don't really go. So much resources don't go into having this constitutional review. So as I say, we look forward to the process. We look forward to any emerging issues then that they go also look into and capture. And also, for we, every year, we get our own scorecard. Government get their own scorecard. But we as the Human Rights Commission, we get our own scorecard when at the State of Human Rights report, we will do every year, in which we assess the government's the government's, how then they make citizens enjoy their rights, how then they make citizens, how then they fulfill the rights where they don't sign up to. So every year we do that. So for every year we get for rights what is the constitutional review process updates, waiting at the recommendations and from UPI where government we don't accept and we don't take on board. And we hope to say that inside this 2024, we'll get the opportunity for say finally that this process don't really done. Right. And why this thing important before Mr. Minister take away himself? This constitution now about accountability. As he say, it sets out the relationship between citizens and the states. So the one that we would elect, the one that we would appoint, how then they carry their duties. Now that's for Danny. And what are the human rights approaches within the use? And then even more importantly also, citizens, within our responsibility. Because that's something we're really lacking. I think there's only one section 13, where they talk about citizens' responsibility. And we say as a country that responsibility we know they take on board. So even as much as we look for the process, we also hope say that the aspects of responsibility could count more so that people know that Sierra Leone go make if people they not take up their responsibility. Even as the Minister of Youth Affairs, they talk about this. If the youth say where they train, they not come out and take up the training and use them in a good way. Instead, they want to go maybe do temple run or other thing. It means all his efforts is going to go in vain. Yeah. So responsibility now a very key side where we as a Human Rights Commission also got to look forward for, say, the Ministry of Justice as in the review, the white paper, and decide which one whether they can go to Parliament, where indeed, again, we all go get the opportunity for being involved in that process. And then for the referendum, where they go need for do in a question where people go able to understand, because usually referendum is yes or no.
Yes.
If you say no, some people say no, you don't do. That means say all wait till they don't do that for nothing. And we hope say they will do a process where everybody go look at it and say yes, and the process pass.
Thank you so much. Madam Simiti Lavali ASQ, thank you so much for that. I'm glad you talk about the need for do this, for do in a timely fashion. That you don't tell the wait, alone not wait again until we get closer to elections. I'm also glad you say that the constitution about we all. This constitution, this revised constitution, in fact, experts then like I point out say now because of the lack of a progressive constitution, it lead to all the problems we don't see in this country. So what will they try for do based on this work they don't do through all these years from 2013? Now for deliver a constitution where we all go be proud of as Sierra Leoneans, a revised constitution. Now on our turn, questions. I want for say that if you're new here, the rule very clear. Now only at the starting day for today. So now they don't want to give time. You young job now for ask a very simple and direct question. You introduce yourself, you ask the question, we entertain them, the superstar in there, and then they answer the question. Also, I remind you, say during the press conference, as Minister of Information, you can ask any and all questions on the government of Salone. And if I don't get the answer that minute, I will tell you, see, I don't get the answer, and I will provide them to you after the press conference. So let's see the hands. Okay, so I want to see all the hands then, so I will make a mental note so they can for the second round. All right. Madam Lavali don't talk about gender, so the woman ain't get number 1 as well. This gentleman here ain't get number 2. The pa ain't get number 3. This gentleman at the back ain't get number 4. Where the woman there? Now that talks so if you talk so you go to put it out, you can't say again. Number 4. All right. This gentleman go get number 5. So let's do it first. Will they come back? So we want to call it. So let's go quick, please. The numbers.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is David Aspen. Reporter from My Radio. My question will go to Mr. Minister. If you take a look at the comments them under the live way the Ministry of Information gets currently right now to go. People they ask that this initiative, the initiative where the ministry they do go now the four corners of Salon, in the provinces. So I want for tapping them and I also ask say how the ministry they ensure say the job creation efforts inclusive and reach to the marginalized or disadvantaged youth population of the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And thank you for where you follow we live and where you don't make it clear. So if you didn't host, you listen to one of the radio station there. If you get online access, you can also go to the Minister of Information and Civic Education page and you will get access. So that is number 2, now this gentleman here.
Yeah, Mina Saidu Dumbuya at the right for exclusive. Yeah, Mr. Sisi, the review get for do with addition of term limits of the presidency from 5 to 7 years. Thank you.
Okay, so question of term limit. Okay. Number 3, Dipa.
Mohamed Kamara, the Watch and Zakara newspaper. This question is for the Honorable Minister of Information and Civic Education, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. At the time when the National Civic Education Council promised the people of this country, say, they will play a leading role for ensuring, say, the push is eliminated and the politicization among youth will reduce drastically even before the 2028 elections. Don't get the orders again. We understand, say, it is about to be closed, despite the fact that it was established by a 2019 constitution. How true is this, sir?
All right, thank you very much. Number 4.
Ahmed White Sure, Galaxy Radio. My question they go to Mr. Minister, Youth. You highlighted several issues them we get for with youth empowerment, including the creation and empowerment of youth enablers, the 8,000, for young people, 4,000, and many more. These building blocks for foundation for the development and the, economic investments, get time bound. Waiting at the time bound for all of these enablers. Thank you very much.
All right, number 5.
Mina Larry from IB Blog. This is not a personal question where I want to ask, and since we get the Minister of Justice here, when the deputy, this is not a question we don't get from we followers them throughout, and even today. Again, somebody they ask, this not concerning the tripartite. Somebody ask, say, how powerful this tripartite they, and if they go able to unseat the current president, if they get a power they.
Thank you. We're glad for all the questions they want to ask. You know, when you say possible ask any and all questions, then they ask questions, they complain. You know, complain. So we welcome any and all questions. Mr. Minister, I start with you. Your question is very direct. 1, inclusive nature of these opportunities. Who people in our upline? There 1,200 here we mentioned this, that. Give me a sense of how inclusive it is across the country. Secondly, the initiative here we mentioned. Waiting at the timeline. Somebody be interested in that. I think that the 2 Ministry of Youth question in that.
Yes, thank you very much again, and thanks to the lady on the other side. One go for do it how the opportunities and then every knock and cranny in the country. I'll tell you now, only the Ministry of Youth gets representative now every chiefdom in this country. Every chiefdom youth leader gets Brown New XL. Every district council gets a youth officer. Every district council gets a youth officer and assistant youth officer. So, like, for instance, no ministry not get instructions in there. For instance, where we say the 1,200 jobs for GIZ and EU, if I not say that, the only way they get the forms them, now through the Youth Council, GIZ, and offices. And when you talk about how it reach, the opportunities they reach to young people in the provinces, for instance, the 70 boats where we've been doing, now for the 7 coastal districts, including Freetown, Bond, Cambia, Pujom, then districts, 7 districts away did it. So every district. On the timeline, we got project I tell you say like yesterday. The 50 boats we don't buy everything. This month, the contractors then they hand over everything. The grants we don't tell you say yesterday the closing date. The keke I tell you say this month, today the permanent sector don't pay. In fact, the beauty about the keke, and if I made emphasis on this, the level of efficient use of state resources in the Ministry of Youth is high. The cost of keke on a normal day we go to shop, it day over 71 million. When the procurement committee meets, I need to share this, say, okay, then one award the contract to the contractor for 80 million or 85. And me at the head of procuring agency, and I'm at the boss, I look at it and say, no, if then they sell keke 75 million, we're supposed to get this. And the beauty of that, we end up for buying the keke for 64 million. Instead of the current price, when it's over 70 million, we end up for buying for 65 million. So that they tell you, say, I mean, this opportunity for tell Shalima thank you again, because me personally go meet and say part of incorporation responsibility for ensure say this one reach. So you get a lot of projects like the $40 million we'll talk about on agriculture. We say we take young people in the provinces. We say we ensure say young people move because agriculture get for be a bit sexy. Now make we say we get another project where they pay young people for going to the farm. The farm center Freetown very small. Sometimes the only person who get farm na Freetown and me. That's my fish farm. So we ensure say we send young people for learn and see agriculture. We spend 1 year there, then they pay 2 million. You go decide whether for sit down at the city, not get nothing, and go to the farms them. So most of the projects them in every other.
Minister, timeline. What about timeline? Somebody will ask for timeline.
Most of the projects you ask me for like your updates about project today.
Okay, so
anything you put now today, nothing the way you go call me the next one.
Ongoing now. The other thing, Minister, if you mentioned one website where you say if person get all them question they get so they can go there and get this information.
No, that's not the platform.
Uh-huh.
World Bank give you project and other partners for develop a platform. The first platform will be we start with David Senge when I be directorate, and UNDP supports. Now we get a World Bank support of $1.5 million for ensure say we build a standard platform. We don't recruit the staff. It's an ongoing project. We don't give the consultant. And last week then signed with the service provider NACSA and government sign. So we want to get a way how we go consolidate the effort of government, development partners, and private sector. We'll get a one-stop shop for world youth intervention.
Very much. Honorable Deputy Justice,
yes.
One question where you get now, also don't get some question on and just add them for you so you could take them together. This question says, key changes. Hello. It's a what's the key changes between the white paper where they been presented in 2017 and the current reports, if any, and then whether the referendum will be tied to the next election as a cost-saving mechanism or not. And a straightforward question. So let's just add them together. Let's see, because I want to get a chance for go one more round. So if you do that for me in 3 minutes, I'll be happy. Minister, they take no lawyer.
I want no turn down.
Problem.
Yeah, thank you very much. So first question on
term limit.
Term limit, whether the revised constitution go alter the term limit for go to 7 years. The straight answer to that is no.
No. The president said don't talk and plenty in meetings. Say
clearly. No. So one, no proposal, no day like that from the Constitutional Review Committee. No discussion not take place about that when it comes to developing the white paper. No discussion like that not take place in government. And recently, you know, as the minister say, when the president don't engage various actors on this subject, it don't be very clear. Say one, this talk about this constitutional review process extending term limit, it is false. And this talk about using constitutional review process for get a third term, it's a person for even ask a question because it's a we're not going there. And in time, this way they serve. When a left in 2028, a one for left a country better than a midterm in 2018. So I hope that address that. And then I will just, since we don't constitution, I'll go to the third question, when the key changes between the white paper in 2017 and now. So the white paper in 2017 are the one we get under President Chernor. We accept and reject some of the recommendations. And then in 2021, there was a second white paper by the government under leadership of President Bah. The difference is that there are certain provisions where be rejected, so certain recommendations will be rejected in the first white paper, where the government watch say, yes, we need to accept them. And really, we'll go break down them provisions and they therefore do with some of the human rights commitments. How we conduct ourselves in state of public emergency. We go prohibit things like, torture. You understand? We go watch, say, state of emergency, means if you tamper out somebody in life, and all of them. Now, then progressive things in there, you understand? So now addition. So that could be the difference, but we'll go for roll all of this out so the public will really see with the key provisions in. And then finally, on the tripartite committee. So one, of course, we know a lot of questions on there about the tripartite committee and whether there will be a rerun of the elections. First, I want to say, the tripartite committee we made a serve on, we get a communication framework, a way we communicate and plain way we talk about the committee and in work. We can make the other side be present. We are in government day, APCD. But because this matter so fundamental and it don't lead to some kind of misinformation or confusion among the members of the public, now for make a state say, the work of the tripartite committee not get anything for do with rerun of the election or cutting the president in time short. That not to even waiting with the discuss now the committee. Waiting with the discuss now the committee, now how we go review examine and review the electoral system structures and processes and make recommendations for how we reform the electoral system so
going forward.
Going forward when we conduct elections, we will reduce complaints. That is what the tripartite committee will do. And just for add saying, the only way where you go reverse an election result, now, where you take a matter go Supreme Court and Supreme Court rules this election not valid. This election not valid. Make a read one. But that self you get a time limit within which if you go to Supreme Court, we be done pass all of that. So the next election now this country take it to the bank now 2028. Thank you.
All right. So they are gonna bank. Where you go? Within the deputy minister talk say get beaucoup value. Pakama, your question on NACED. And so I want to make something clear. The first president in the history of this country, we don't decide for set up an institution on civic education and then elevate them to a ministry in President Julius Maada Bio. In commitment to civic education is unquestionable and cannot be questioned at all. I think the important thing on that question we ask is twofold. One, NACI don't lead the foundation and the imperative. Don't introduce new civic education curriculum again into the school system. All the requests them. In fact, that will be part of the Truth Commission actually recommendation. President Bio don't come, it don't roll on forward. NACI as an institution be established. It's in the wisdom of His Excellency, it go ahead now and say civic education, it also creates a ministry. So now, no, they even outside of cabinet say, well, let's civic education, they write inside cabinet and for move that process they forward. Now, that is the status of Saudi now. Now, on whether NACID will continue to exist or not, it will get for follow due process. It will get for go cabinet will get for approve that, it will get for go parliament to be established and all that. But we say I focus on a President Bio in commitment for elevate civic education in the country. And the goal and the outcome is more important than the individuals and the institutions. Next round. Number one this time. I think you haven't been there up. Are they looking for mandate? If you didn't hear a woman, get a question.
If not the question no more you care about, you just pass the question, then the lady go answer the question. But when our business can go, where do you woman will ask? Eh? No, now the Anna they look for. Eh, una back. I agree. Okay, this is number one, Nayajis, no. This gentleman are number 2 in the yellow. Boss, you block them, I know they see the none. I'll pick one person and that delete. The one with the middle, now I pick pound 3. And then number 4, the lady. Now you know, you want to see now woman you put up here now they ask question. A feminist minister when I get. Eh? And then it all left 1. Number 5. Law give civil society. Law give the power. 1. Okay, quick. Let's go. We have one more round. One done. We get 10 more minutes. So keep your question short.
Ibrahim Sarasisi reporting for Voice of Salon Radio. Honorable Minister of Youth Affairs and Youth in Car Wash. I've been following story, Nada Wellington and grafting with other car wash. For privatize then car wash and they waiting do way then they privatize them.
Thank you. Number 2. I'll make a sharp there. Yes.
Hi, John Kelly Mara, reporting for the Daybreak newspaper. This question is going to the Minister of Youth. The Minister of Youth are on Kush. In the month of March, we buried 32 youths, and also in that same month, 18 have been buried also, Mr. Minister. And also we get 40, we recently, they come on rehab. And we get 60 of them, and we recently in rehab. What now you take on the fight against Kush as a youth minister, sir?
Okay, thank you. Number 3. And the lady, no? Okay, the gentleman.
Mina Bokari Kamara, I the write for the New Storm newspaper, the Minister of Youth. We get the car wash project, a care project, the youth in fishing project, and the youth in agriculture project. Them project they are now part of the 5,000 youth job where the president be say for create for the youth. If yes, how this go change the life of the youth, where they will become permanent secretary, director, or ministers? How this go change their life? Thank you, sir.
We need more women, please. Let's go to the woman.
Mr. Minister, Elizabeth Nyaloma from Voice of Salon. You mentioned earlier that UNA and the Ministry of Youth get projects where productive social safety net and youth empowerment project where UNA cater for 8,000 youths there. Do you want to know what are the criteria for this kind?
All right, final one. And at the pan and get the last one.
Thank you very much. My name is Alaji Gillen from Civil Society. Mr. Minister of Youth, sir, what are the provision we wanna make for person with disability, where then they train them na the National Youth Scheme? Because they say after that, they know they get that small thing we wanna give them before. So we want to know what are the wanna do make for them people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, wanna thank you. That's the final round, Mr. Minister. I get all the question then. The car wash, wanna the privatize them. Why? Youth send you on Kush. You quick take. What do you think? Then 5,000 or 500,000 job. If there is job you mentioned, then a part of the contribution. And this man say if the people don't know wear coats and ties, they're in our office. If they're in a good job, they are everywhere. And then the lady they ask say, what's the criteria for the 8,000 job here we mentioned, and then the a very important question about the extent of inclusion of people with disabilities. Go. Yes, the first one we get for
4 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. The first one we get for do the car wash. I don't know what's input la conversation. I don't get no clue. I don't know what's a privatization talk on the car wash. So I go on go taking facts and back and I get an idea about what they talk. And the ministry don't need to negotiation or anything of that nature. Second one we go for Dude Kush, he said them beg 32 youths, 18 youths. I wish you give me the data, say the 32 people away them beg now youth, because the age bracket, you know very well, anybody they below 35, you get for give me, because death, you get death certificate. You understand? Where we they talk sometimes, look, they would facts. If the Minister of, when the Minister of Health, out I come, when the Minister of Health, for don't tell you say, then people will die now youth, then people will die on Kush, then people will die on this. You understand? I want to see that data today before I comment on that. Definitely, I feel bad that young people they take into drugs. And drugs and substance abuse now a problem not only Sierra Leone, now a problem now the whole continent. And nobody no get no reason for give you life to drugs or any substance where they kill you because of any reason. You understand? So now Tiwe not good, and now that make me now one person believe say na societal issue. We all get for ensure say we put them together for ensure say we change the narrative. For ensure say young people and no say no amount of pressure, no amount of stress you go through will for lead to kush or any other substance. The other one we get for do it if the car wash. And me update today, I'm not talking anything about car wash. Car wash now during the past government last year we they talk about this. If you ask if that kind of job they are, we good for the waiting at the status of people looking for being minister. I wish you are aware say one of the biggest, one of the millionaires in the world. The new space today from big billionaires na agriculture. And when young people you take agriculture as an entrepreneurship, you take that as a business, there is no way you can be minister, you can be president, you can be anything where you're a farmer. And I say this as of experience, and me and one person believe say the only way for fix this country, agriculture, entrepreneurship, now the way to go for today and tomorrow. The other one, the criteria for the 8,000 jobs, for as long as it is within the age of the youth bracket, you qualify. And how you go reach out to them, it depends on the different skills. If we say to go for entrepreneurs, agriculture, aquaculture, and this, that's how you get into the one they are.
Disability.
So
persons with disability, want to include them?
Yes. So you make mention of how the young people and where they go through National Youth Service and persons with disability, we're very conscious of you. If I not say, in all of our recruitment, we're very passionate for create space for people living with then disadvantages and the National Youth Service.
The and a part of the youth policy then
that's it.
As
and
well,
the Ministry of Youth, no, they pay anybody in the National Youth Service. When we start, will be the pay. But 2 years down the line, now the institution where they recruit, now they pay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. I'll get 3 more minutes, and I want to give a chance to you, colleague them for the second final word. I want to start with you, Deputy Minister of Justice. Your final word, and I want you to talk specifically about Resolution 4 as part of that, as part of the resolution from the big agreement with the parties and been signed. And also, you know, we now representative and I do lead on that day. Tell people and quickly on updates in 1 minute, Mr. Minister.
All right. So 20 seconds first. I really want to thank the leadership we don't get on the constitutional review process from former late President Kaba, former President Kroma, President Julius Marabio, and another person who I really want to thank for leadership on this issue as soon as the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Mohamed Lamin Tarawali. We're not there today, and he asked me for representative, but in commitment and leadership for drive this process forward, I think we're really commendable.
1 minute.
And really, I'm on Resolution 4.
Okay, order, please. Please.
And, and on Resolution 4, now one of the resolutions, now the agreement for national unity, with the government being signed with the APC, with the support from various partners, local and international. And Resolution 4 specifically talk about, say government for take steps. 1, for release persons where they in detention or in prison on account of political affiliation or civil unrest. 2, for dismiss cases where the APC takes politically motivated. And then 3, for individuals who don't be exiled from their communities or the country on account of their political affiliation for facilitate their return. So we manage that process now. We definitely make sure say the process of taking a decision on all them cases, and they very transparent and inclusive. So what would they try for do? One, the APC be don't submit a long list, because the agreement been say the APC for submit a list with government review. APC be don't submit a long list, hundreds of names. But we need more information. So we'll go for work with the APC for really try for narrow things down. We are in the able for tell we would know this person, how affiliated they are with the party, what that the matter, whether they arrest them for or whether they charge them for, what the status of the case. It don't be convicted, a day on trial or a just day in detention, and then for state why this person qualify, for benefit from A, B, and C. So
yes,
when
and at the end of that, una go consider that,
we'll consider
so that process is still ongoing.
That process still on a
Sorry for rushing, Mr. Minister. I'd like for also end on time. I'll give 30 seconds quickly for just say final words.
Thank you very much. The Human Rights Commission, very happy for hear about the process, for completing the constitutional review process. And as we say, we hope that it will be done within a very timely time, so that we know we'll come into election period. And we just hope say that then go also consider one of the recommendations that we make now for let the Human Rights Commission be a constitutional body like I be in other countries like Uganda, Kenya.
Okay.
So Nadani Nomo would really look forward to seeing this white paper and the implementation of the constitutional review process. Thank you.
Another excellent panel. I for take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Alpha Sise, Deputy Justice Minister, Madam Simiti Lavali, Commissioner, Human Rights Commission, the Honorable Mohamed Oman Bangura, and of course my colleague Mohamed Abdelaziz Bawo. We also join Bokai Abdelaziz Bawo, the Deputy Minister of Information and Civic Education. I for tell una all thank you for we una join we. And until we meet again next week for another edition of, there might be an update. It is possible that we're not going to do a press conference next week, because I think we get cabinet retreats next week but we go communicate soon clearly in good time, whatever decision we make. But I'm for telling all thank you again and say Assalamu alaikum.